Hello, my name is Nolan Davis, and today we are going to be doing an analysis of the book The Elusive Fan. And The Elusive Fan is all about, the modern day fan and how they react to certain things, what influences them, how they connect, what a sports brand is founded on, and how you can communicate and sustain that brand. So without further ado, let's dive right in. All right, to start things off, I will give a brief introduction to what the elusive fan really means in this context. The elusive fan is all about what makes a fan want to go to a game, what makes a fan want to stay home and watch the game. It's really kind of self-explanatory. Fans are hard to find, they're hard to sustain, and they're hard to please. And what I will be presenting is some of the ways that organizations can connect to fans and how they can build a brand and sustain that brand as well as communicate that brand. So it's going to be really looking at some of the strategies that organizations can use to influence fans for the better. So let's look at some major influences on a fan. This is what's going to push or pull a fan away or to a game. First up, we have pressurized competitive environment. There is so much on today, it is impossible to not have selection. You can, depending on the time of year, there can be 10 football games on, 3 baseball games, a hockey game on, bowling, tennis, you name it, it can be on. Higher expectations. The fans expect more than ever. That's why you see so much between play entertainment in live games. Paradox commercialization. This is where fans want to believe that their teams and athletes are in it for the right reasons, whether right or wrong. That is a major influence on a fan. New technology. You can see this. Let's just look at how much TVs have evolved. That is a factor in whether a fan goes to a game or not. Individualism. Fans are as an individual as ever, and this kind of connects with the pressurized competitive environment. They can really choose whatever they want, and it's not just black and blue anymore like it used to be, or black and white, I should say, like it used to be. Fans have more selection. Time. People have much less leisure time today than they did 50 to 100 years ago. There's not a lot of time. That's why I believe baseball is a slightly dying sport, is because it's just too long and people don't have the time to sit and watch that. Changes in family structure. Today, families are not as traditional as they have been in the past, and overall, that is something that sports marketers and executives need to recognize and plan for. So here we have 6 key fan connection points. This is where the fan will connect to the brand. And the first one is obviously the star. Think about the Angels and Mike Trout. The Angels would have a terribly tough time, more than they already do, selling tickets if it weren't for Mike Trout. Second could be the venue. Think of Wrigley Field. People go there for nostalgia, for the community, wanting to be part of the community, seeing that history. Social currency. What this means is when you're at a social function, what are you going to talk about? A lot of times with males and sometimes females, it's sports. Family. You can see this one deep in college football. People have ties. I know my family, I knew from the moment I was born almost that my family were all Hawkeye fans, and so that's exactly what I was. Vicarious experience. This could be many things, but a lot of times it's for people who used to play the sport or maybe have some nostalgia with the sport, and they go just to kind of get that nostalgic experience. Uncertainty. This is kind of where the drama sets in, that people who go for the entertainment. This is where sports are as entertainment. They go for the cliffhangers, the buzzer beaters, the last second field goals, you name it, that's what uncertainty is. So looking at something a little more complex now, let's look at the sports brand and its foundations. Now we all know what a brand is, but what is it truly made of? And this is what the book believes it is. And the first one is segmentation. Who is going to be your target market, more or less? And more often than not, it'll be the people in the area that you're playing for, but it could be other things like demographics, gender. It could really be anything. Next, we have involvement. This is how fans interact with the team. It could be going to the games. It could be checking scores. It could be wearing gear. Involvement will look different for everybody. Next, we have ethos. This is how the fan perceives the team, almost from a moral standpoint, but it can be more than that. The fan wants to believe the team is in it for the right reasons, whether that be true or not. That is a big part of a brand for a team. And next we have transformation. Now this one is pretty complex. It can mean a lot of things, but how I see it is, where is the brand at exactly? Is it a mostly unknown team, or is it the Chicago Cubs, the Yankees, the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Bears? You know what I mean? Is it a blue blood brand, and where is that brand at in its existence? So here we have the three components of communicating a brand, and those three are accessibility, or the first of those three, I should say, are accessibility. This is pretty self-explanatory. How available is the brand to the consumers? Is it on TV? Can you find it on the internet? Yada, yada, yada. Can you get to the product? Interactivity. We kind of hit on this earlier before, but how does the fan interact with the brand? Are they checking them digitally? Are they at the games? Are they watching them on TV? Can they interact with the players? Social media is a big one for this, interacting with the athletes or entertainers on social media such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook even. Next we have responsiveness, and this one is pretty broad term, but this is mostly when how a team responds to its fans. Does it listen to its fans? How does it handle a crisis? Is it able to see a fan's displeasure and fix that, or does it ignore it? And that goes a long way in a brand's communication at the end of the day. So now let's dive into a couple different methods to sustain a fan base. And the book had plenty of methods and strategies, but I just picked out three that I thought were really relevant and really good. The first one is to eventize, and not every event that a team has is going to be a front pager. Think of Iowa versus Middle Tennessee State. The team decided to make that the gold out for the crowd, and that is something that will attract some fans. Secondly, you can ride a star. Think of the Angels and Mike Trout. They absolutely ride Mike Trout for ticket sales, national coverage, and overall their brand. Third, create a rivalry. Think of the Cubs and Cardinals, Yankees, Red Sox, Bears, Packers, USC, UCLA, Notre Dame, Michigan. You can go on and on. When these teams meet, it is guaranteed to sell tickets. Now, this is where I will end it. Overall, I really enjoyed this book and thought it had many great concepts to take away from, and I would definitely recommend reading it if you are interested in this line of work. Thanks for listening to my presentation. I hope you have a great day.